Feminism still relevant in today's society?
Yeah, I definitely think it is. They put up a lot of bullshit. They pull up with sexual harassment. They put up with a whole lot of bullshit that us men just don't have to deal with.
Of course it's relevant. Throughout history, women have been discriminated against.
It is, but I think it's changed a lot.
Here you go.
Feminism started out as women's rights, and now it has skewed into something entirely different than what it was.
Are we going too far? Did we do this and all the rest of that instead of being angry?
Now it's morphed into something that's more preaching like a superiority over men kind of stance. Like I work.
Exactly. It has. And like I just said that before they actually said so, that it's no longer about women and equal opportunities and da 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 da. It is war on men. It is about female supremacy, and it is about lack of accountability as a woman, that you can get away with anything. And furthermore, women seem to be becoming increasingly violent, especially towards men. But you know what? Nobody's talking about that. Okay? No one talks about that.
With some people who would consider themselves heavy feminists, and they are constantly dogging on men, and they openly say, I hate men.
I would say that as long as men are alive, feminism is always going to be relevant.
Why?
Because men.
It's like today, we're more polarized than ever before. And if men and women can't get along, it can only hurt society.
Exactly. Radical feminists who generally hate men.
They consider us a hate group.
The patriarchy.
But in today's lack of nuance, is it considered sexist to even question the topic? And if I had to be honest with myself, could I do it without my own bias? I guess we gon' see. What rights do men have today that women don't?
Oh, let's go down the list. A woman can still walk a street and not feel protected versus a man can.
I think we all have equality when it comes to laws.
Men are able to walk out maybe in whatever they want to wear, or, you know, be able to stand strong through societal pressure.
I feel like women take a lot of precautions just by being a woman themselves, you know.
Statistically, just going into like a corporate setting, if you look at how women are rated on performance review versus men, the language that's used, you know, assertive versus bossy, or kind of the dynamic of how individuals are interacting in the workplace, I do think that there are societal norms that place women at a disadvantage, absolutely.
I think if, so for instance, for pregnancy, right, there's no law saying employers can't like fire you if you're pregnant. Or like abortion, for instance, like that's a law that like only affects women, right?
But don't you think that's just kind of explained by like biological differences?
But why does that justify making a law anyway that literally discriminates women?
And so biological differences lead to different.
How does that discriminate against women? I mean, it's like, it's never ending. It's that, you know, us women, we're always complaining. Everything discriminates against us. We want to be like men. We want to be treated like men, but yet we want to be treated special because we're women. Do you understand? Do you see the double standards? How can that work? Let's continue.
Different treatments and reality. And so I wanted to take a different view on this topic of equality. Do you think today that women have certain privileges that men don't have?
Yes.
Yeah, part of that goes into being able to say certain things that, you know, men would get scolded for.
They can just talk completely out of their ass freely. You're not allowed to say nothing back.
Do you think, let's say, like, do men have problems that, let's say, that women don't experience? For example, in statistics, like, men have higher rates of suicide, and, you know, obviously men die more when it comes to, like, wars.
Women can go to war.
Yeah, but how about...
Women can go to war.
It's true. Who's overwhelmingly going to war and dying in wars?
Men. Clearly. Let's be clear. Women may serve various areas in the army or whatever you call it for war, but are they on the front lines like the men are? Who built this society? Who built the roads that we drive on? The infrastructure that we have in various societies in this world. It's always been men and will continue to be predominantly men. You may find a woman here and there, maybe in some of these industries, but at the end of the day, it's predominantly men.